So Tyson Fury stops Joey Abell in the 4th round. You know, it was a typical Tyson Fury performance in the sense that he showed a lot of talent. I mean, in my opinion, Tyson Fury does have talent. I've always said that for a long time. For most of his career, the guy has talent. And he showed a lot of that talent in this fight. But at the same time, he showed the other side of Tyson Fury, which is his recklessness and his bizarre character, which he seems to have. There was a lot of strange stuff that was going on in the ring there. Fury was taking risks that he didn't need to take. He did get cracked with some clean shots. And he did well, actually, to ride a lot of those punches. Because a lot of the shots he got hit with, he was kind of turning to the side and he just took the sting off the punch a little bit. But he did get cracked with some shots in there. He was reckless. And he was obviously very contemptuous of Joey Abell. He really didn't have much respect for him. But, you know, that could have ended up backfiring on him. You know, the commentators alluded to that. That could have backfired on him. But it didn't. He was definitely the more talented fighter. But as I say, he took a lot of risks in there. He did get cracked with some clean shots. And I was obviously keeping an eye on my Facebook timeline, as I do most of the time when I watch these fights. I keep an eye on my Facebook timeline to see what people are saying. And people were saying, wow, Hay would have knocked him out easy based on this performance. I mean, Fury wasn't in shape. He was definitely out of shape in this fight. Not as bad shape as I thought he would be in based on the weigh-in. I've definitely seen his body look in worse condition than that. Even though that may have been his career heaviest, in terms of his muscle to fat ratio, I've seen him look a lot worse than that. In the second John McDermott fight, he looked a hell of a lot worse than that. Most of his fights early in his career, he looked worse than that. So he's filled out in terms of muscle mass quite a lot since those early years. So 19 stone 8 or whatever he was in this fight, 280 pounds or whatever it was, that doesn't look as bad as I was expecting it to look. But he still looked out of shape, no question. He definitely wasn't 100%. But for a guy that was weighing that much and was not in great condition, I personally thought in terms of his speed and movement, he didn't look too bad. Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to disagree. People always seem to look at the bad side of Tyson Fury and act as though the guy has no talent at all. I mean, that's cool. That's their opinion. But personally, I think the guy does have talent. And he showed, again, he showed the good and the bad in Tyson Fury in this fight. And the bad was more mental rather than anything else. I mean, he was reckless in there because he wasn't worried enough about Joey Abell to take care and minimize his mistakes. He was really contemptuous of the guy. It'll be interesting to see if he's that contemptuous when he gets in there with a real top flight heavyweight. Now, Tyson Fury has fought some good fighters, but he's obviously never been in there with a Klitschko. Never been in there with one of the real top 5 guys in the world. So it'd be interesting to see if he's that contemptuous when he gets in there with a Klitschko, or, you know, if he got in there with a David Haye, if he's going to be that reckless. I don't know. He's such a bizarre character. He's so he's so erratic and unpredictable. I really don't know whether he's going to be that gung-ho against Vladimir Klitschko or not. Maybe he will. I mean, I don't know. And that kind of confidence that he has is a double-edged sword in a way, because he clearly has a tremendous amount of self-belief, Tyson Fury, and self-belief does go a long way. But if it's left unchecked, if self-belief crosses over into the realm of delusion, then that's where you can end up running into disaster. So you need to keep your self-belief in check. He obviously said the usual things after the fight. He said Chisora and Johnson are both bums compared to him, because obviously his fight was before the Chisora and Johnson fight. So he said they're both bums. He called Vladimir Klitschko a pussy. You know, the kind of stuff you'd expect Tyson Fury to say. So we'll see who he fights next. I'd like to see him in better condition. And he's a fun fighter, man. A lot of people hate Tyson Fury, but I've always felt he's a fun fighter. I can understand why people don't like him. Don't get it twisted, because a lot of people don't like the kind of stuff he comes out with in terms of his mouth and whatnot. And he is a pretty, I can see how he is a pretty abrasive character for a lot of people. But me personally, for some reason, I just find him entertaining. You know, I'm not saying he would be the best person to be around in person. You know, I don't know. But at least watching him, you know, on the screen, I find him entertaining. So that's just my 2 cents anyway. Let me know how you felt about this performance. How do you think he'll do against Chisora? I mean, actually, I shouldn't even say that because the Chisora fight ain't started yet. Right? Chisora's just walking to the ring. But how do you think he'll do against the winner of Chisora Johnson? He's obviously beaten them both. Will it be any different this time? How do you see him doing against any of the top 10 guys, Vladimir Klitschko, etc.? Do you give him any chance against Klitschko? I mean, it's going to definitely raise a lot of controversy when I say this, but personally, I think he's got the talent to give Klitschko problems. I know people are going to literally go crazy about that, but I do think he has the talent to give Klitschko problems if he can box a disciplined fight. But that is a huge, huge ask because Tyson Fury is so hot-headed. He loves getting stuck in and fighting so much. Is he even capable of boxing a disciplined fight? I've only seen him do it once, really, and that was against Kevin Johnson. Maybe against Martin Rogan and Vinny Madalone as well, but they're fairly low-level opponents. But, you know, the only time I've seen him box a really disciplined fight was against Kevin Johnson. Other than that, he always gets reckless at one time or another in a boxing ring. And at the very highest level, against your Vladimir Klitschko's and David Hayes and people like that, and other fighters out there, that's going to cost you. It may not cost you against the Joey Abells of the world. You might be able to get away with stuff like that, even though there was some near misses there. Tyson did get he did get clipped with some decent shots, but he was able to get away with it against Joey Abell, land his own punches, score several knockdowns, and get him out of the fight. Joey Abell, going into this fight, I knew that he didn't have the best punch resistance. He has been stopped several times before. He was stopped in one round by Chris Arreola, and possibly I speculated that he may not have the most mental strength, although he did get up from several knockdowns in this fight, and he did continue and he did keep trying. So he did show some heart in this fight. Anyway, let me stop waffling. Let me know how you felt about this performance and how do you feel about Tyson Fury in general. Where do you think he can go from here? Yeah, drop your comments below. This is Hatman. I'm out.